Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to dedicate this song to you. It's your time. It's your time by Luther Barnes and the Sunset Jubileers. It's your time. Listen before 6:45 comes, because it's your time.
You've been faithful, you've been true, and you've done all that you could do. And for your faithfulness, it's your time.
It's your time.
You applauded for the rest. Now it's your time to be blessed. And for your faithfulness, it's your time. You've been faithful. You've been true. And you've done all that you could do. And for your faithfulness, it's your time. You applauded for the race. Now it's your time. It's your time to be blessed. And for your faithfulness. It's your time. You waited so long, but you held on and you were strong. And for your faithfulness, it's your time. You encouraged everyone else when you needed it for yourself. And I want you to know that for your faithfulness, it's your time. You waited and waited so long, but you held on, you were strong. And for your faithfulness,
It's your time. It's your time. To God be the glory. Good morning, great moments. To God be all the glory. He woke us up this morning, gave us a brand new day, and we are present right now with each other and with him because he gave us the gift of life just for this day. So with that, we should give him honor, praise, glory. Yes, whoever your God is, I know who mine is. And if you want to be real simple about it, the creator of it all. How about that? I thank God that I was able to find him through a pathway of recovery through the 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous over 31 plus years ago. I did not have a loving personal understanding of a God. I was taught that he was a punishing God. But through the AA spiritual program, I learned, established, embraced my own personal relationship with the God of my understanding. And for that, I am truly grateful. And guess what? They say every knee shall bow and every mouth should confess that he is. What is your knee bowing experience? Have you had it yet? Guess what? If you live long enough, you're going to get it, because it says every knee shall bow. And so with this Alcoholics Anonymous daily reflection reading for today, January the 7th, it says at the turning point. I do not represent Alcoholics Anonymous. I've just been a proud, humble, faithful, and grateful member, for over 31 plus years. One day at a time, one moment at a time. And if God chooses to allow me to be here February the 23rd of 2022, we will be celebrating 32 years from addiction, alcoholism, prostitution, mental illness, dysfunctional thinking. Yes. And I've allowed this process of recovery to help me and millions of others be at the turning point from active addiction and active alcoholism, and that turning point of saying, I have a made up mind that no matter what, no matter who, I am not turning back. No, I am not. But I need the help of my Creator. I need the help of my fellow members of the 12-step program. I need them. And more importantly than needing them, I want them. Because what I've experienced in these 31 years, I will not be turning back. I will stay at the point of going forward, looking back to help somebody else, looking back as a reference point, looking back to remember, to reflect, but not to go back. I turned that corner. And now I am making new turning points in my life based on God's directions towards me and my obedience to yield to the Spirit. So that's what we get when we go to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. We read the daily reflections. We read the 12 spiritual principles. We attend meetings based on 12 spiritual traditions. We get involved in service work. Our Creator said, just do two things. I gave you the gift of sobriety. I took you out of that muck and mire, and all I want you to do is two things. Stay sober and be willing to help another alcoholic achieve sobriety. We are born to serve. Yes, we are. We are born to serve. And like the song said, it's your time. I thank God that I now know that it's my time, because He has and will continue to order my steps, and I am all ears. Yes, I'm all ears. I'm all eyes. Tell me, Lord. Show me, Lord. I will yield to do your will and not Edwina's will. And I need to also say practice. Yeah, practice. I ain't always 24/7. No, but I have awareness, right? I have signs and symptoms that said, Edwina, you're turning the wrong way. Let's get back to the right way. All right. So let's see what our reading today is at the turning point. All right. So I'm going to read it to you, and then I want you to listen. Listen. January the 7th, at the turning point. And the quote comes from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 59. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked His protection and care with complete abandon. The recovering person writes from his perspective. Every day I stand at turning points. My thoughts and actions can propel me toward growth or turn me down the road to old habits and to booze. Sometimes turning points are beginnings, as when I decide to start praising instead of condemning someone, or when I begin to ask for help instead of going it alone. At other times, turning points are endings, such as when I see clearly the need to stop festering resentments or crippling self-seeking. Many shortcomings tempt me daily. Therefore, I also have daily opportunities to become aware of them. In one form or another, many of my character defects appear daily: self-condemnation, anger, running away, being prideful, wanting to get even, or acting out of grandiosity. Attempting half measures to eliminate these defects merely paralyzes my efforts to change. It is only when I ask God for help with complete abandon that I become willing and able to change. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear what he was saying? When we come to turning points in all of our lives, and as he said, they come daily throughout the day. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I go up? Do I go down? Do I go in? Do I go out? Turning points. Do I turn this way? Do I turn that way? Turning points. Every situation that comes to us during during a day. That's why it says a daily. Give us our daily bread, because we don't know what's coming down the pike during that day. The God of our understanding, yes, life says, I'm going to deal you a deck. I'm going to deal you a hand, and you don't know what's under those cards, right? Life deals us daily hands, right? And we don't know what's under them. Whether it's going to be a flat tire, somebody giving us the finger, we get fired, our wife, our husband leaves us, right? We get a raise, we get in an accident. We don't know what's coming down the pike today. We don't know. But in Alcoholics Anonymous and these 12-step programs, we know who the dealer is. And no matter what turning points we come across during this day, if we recognize who the dealer is, not just recognize, but utilize, the wisdom that he gives us to make the right turning points, to do the next right thing. So whenever we get that card and we flip it up, it's a flat tire. Okay. Initially, we're going to be like, that's our humanness. But the turning point comes in, okay, I got a flat tire. Do I have a spare? Do I have AAA? Am I safe? Okay, what do I need to do? So you're asking, you're talking to yourself, but me, I'll be talking out loud. Okay, Lord, what am I supposed to do now? Tell me, what am I supposed to do? Okay, Edwina, you got AAA, call them. Let's see if you have a spare tire. Let's see what God is going to do. And there has been times when that has happened to me. And God sent somebody. I didn't even have to call AAA. They sent somebody. A car full of grandchildren, right? Yes. They sent somebody. Turning points, right? So if I am driving, right, and I'm listening to my spiritual music now, didn't always, but when you are at a turning point in your life, I recognize I don't need to hear that other stuff. You better call Tyrone. Love Me Down. Yeah, when I listen to that, ooh, my humanness starts to thinking, thinking. Yes, and if I don't hit that pause button, if I don't change that channel, if I don't turn it off, I can be drawn into that stuff. But I know what it means to be in that world, to be in that mindset. And I, through God, have the willingness, have the power to hit that pause button and change the channel. Turning points. Let me get back to my spiritual divide. I'll be calling every Tom, Dick, Harry, Mary, Jane too. So when I'm driving and I'm listening to my spiritual music and people are doing them. Somebody cuts me off, fine. Somebody wants to get in, help yourself. Somebody thinks I'm going too fast and give me the finger. God bless you. I said with Tamika Strickland this morning, I listen to her every morning. I don't know what happened to AJ Harding this morning, but I pray that he's fine. Yes, but I did listen to Hope Winchester, right? Okay. And so when I said to Tamika Strickland this morning, because she was talking about emotions, she was talking about, forgiveness and all of that. So when I know that I am in an emotional state, right? And whether it's good or bad, right? Because good emotions can distort my thinking too. Bad emotion definitely could have me locked up in jail, right? And so I said, as she was sharing, I said, we have to first recognize the emotion, recognize what I'm feeling. Yes. Then turning points, detach from the emotion in order to make not a better decision, not a good decision, the right decision, the right spiritual decision. Yes, there is a difference because those decisions I make can be still focused on me, being self-centered. So when I ask God to help me make the right spiritual decision, peace. So I learned when I was taking care of my family members on hospice, 3 at one time, my mother included, right? My sister, my aunt, my auntie, mama, right? Her son, 2 of my husbands, three of my husbands. Yeah. Yes. And I had to care for them. And then there were some things that I needed to do so that they can experience a turning point in their lives. They can experience a turning point in having someone care for them like they cared for others. Like my mama, she had 6 kids. And you mean to tell me 6 kids can't take care of one mother? But one mother took care of 6 kids? Turning points, right? And so when I would have to administer some things to make them feel comfortable, from the outside, it seems like I'm being rough. From the outside, it seems like I'm being too rugged, whatever, right? I remember my sister coming here and saying, well, you can't do that. You can't do. Listen, I need to detach from the emotion to give mommy this needle to help save her life. Yes. And so there are times we have to detach from the emotions to make the right decision. So let's go back to what the gentleman had to say. Okay. So let's add him back on. Okay. All right. So now listen to this. It says, at the turning point, half measures availed us nothing. Let's stop there. Have you made a cake, right? And for some reason, you thought you had all the ingredients, right? And then you recognize that you didn't have all the ingredients. And so you try to substitute, you try to make a change, an adjustment. And guess what? It will not turn out the way it's supposed to be because you cut corners. So there's no way it could be the way. And because of half measures, we got what we got. So think about it. In recovery, we had to make a decision to go all the way or don't go at all. It's like straddling the fence. Edwina, you can't straddle the fence. You are at a turning point. Do you want to go all the way? Or you don't want to go at all? Being underneath that parked car 31 years ago was my turning point. Okay? And it says here, we stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Underneath that parked car, I'm telling you, it was like, here, do with me as you see fit. I'm at my turning point. They say you get people to walk on water, you bring them back from the dead. Well, take me out this life now or show me a better way. I'm at my turning point. And I ask, it was like a demand, whoever they say you are, take me out this life now or show me a better way. And that was 30 plus years ago, and I haven't looked back since. So let's get back to what he was saying, okay? So here, it says we stood at the turning point, right? And come on, let's get over here. I want to continue on. It says the writer of this particular quote responded this way. And it's so true, y'all. Every day, we stand at turning points. How many of you can recognize when you are at a turning point in your daily activities for this day? Being aware, being conscious of these decisions that you got to make. We make decisions all day long. Will I, won't I? Can I, will I? All day long. And some of these are we stand at turning points. What decision should I make? What choice should I make? What's going to happen? You begin to evaluate, right? But you're at a standing point every day. He goes on to say, my thoughts and actions can propel me toward growth or turn me down the road to old habits and taboos. Woo! Did you hear that? My thoughts and actions can propel me toward continued growth or to go back to old habits. In this 12-step program that we have been chosen to be a part of, enables us to unravel, right? With God's help, that onion and all those layers of defects. Yes, we present ourselves to God like an onion. Yes. Here I am, all stinking, effed up, whatever. Many of us say we can't go to him until we get, no, God said, come to me as you are. That's a turning point in your life. It was in my life here. And so as we begin to avail ourselves to this spiritual transformation, this spiritual awakening as a result of doing these spiritual steps, those layers of that onion begin to be unraveled for examination, unraveled for surgery, unraveled for an evaluation. Yes, you just can't you just can't unravel it. No, you need to find out what, where, when, and how all that stuff happened. Where did it begin? Who influenced you? Those layers need to be examined. You know how thick an onion is? Ooh, Lord. But it's good. It's good. It's good. Because at the core of that onion is the Creator himself. Yes. I'm here. Always will be. But let me help you unravel these onions and recognize the turning points in your life, Edwina. Yes. Because if you don't allow me to help you, even though I help you when you don't even know it, but I want you to want me. I know you need me, but I want you to want me. So, Edwina, let's unravel these layers of earthly things that has conditioned you, that has molded you, that has prevented you from getting to know me. And so these are the turning points that I'm talking about, that he was talking about. He was basically saying, right? He was basically saying, come on now, let's go back up in here, all right? He was basically saying, if I'm going to go, right? If I'm so every day my thoughts and my actions can propel towards growth or turn me down the road to old habits and blues. And so there were times, and there still are times in my recovery, that I'll tell God in the fellowship, look, wait a minute. I'll be right back. I done got fixated on a thought. I done got fixated on an idea. I done got fixated on the behavior. And it done grabbed me again. Right? But I've learned to say, Lord, help me. Help me. Change that thought. Help me with this action. Because it can propel me toward growth or turn me down the road to old habits and ultimately to drinking. I told y'all I will not give anything or anything or anybody that much power to make me drink again. So let's go on so I can interject my perspective. So he says, sometimes turning points are beginnings, as when I decide to start praising instead of condemning someone, or when I begin to ask for help instead of going it alone. At other turn, let's stay with that, huh? Turning points can be a beginning, or beginnings, right? Or beginnings. Turning points are beginnings, right? So turning points in the life of an alcoholic or a drug addict, and whatever your condition is, turning points, right? In order for us to recognize that we need help, we ask for help, but we want help, right? So that means we have to recognize where we are and make a choice and make a decision to say, I no longer want that. That could be the end of that particular situation. That's a turning point. So when that ends, a new beginning starts. Right? And so instead of me waking up and saying, I wake up saying, thank you, Lord. Thank you for this day. And my addiction, when I did go to sleep, it was what? Where's my next drink coming from? Right? So let's go on with what he says, right? So he says again, right? Or when I begin to ask for help instead of going it alone. Many of us in our lives and during our addiction and whatever we're going through, we think we have to do it all by ourselves, but we don't, we can't, we don't have the power to, huh? So at other turning points, when we see clearly that we need help, we don't have to go it alone. I don't want to go it alone. No man is an island, right? And so he continues to say, when I see clearly the need to stop festering resentments or crippling self-seeking, many of our shortcomings tempt me daily. How many times are you tempted daily? How many times? When you are tempted daily, yes, you are, each and every one of us. Because the enemy is what? Oh, ever so present. Even when you know God, the enemy still is present. It's going to be challenged to test you each and every time. What's your flavor? What's your style? Mm-hmm. Yes. You know you don't need that donut. You need to grab a fruit. So what do you do? Turning points. Do you rationalize, justify, and say, I want that donut? Or do you avoid and not give into self-satisfaction, and you say, let me take this banana? If we practice doing that more and more and more, we will always, 9 times out of 10, make the right spiritual decision once we detach from the emotion. Turning points. Okay, I got but a few more minutes. Let's see what he says here, right? All right. So he also says, when shortcomings tempt me daily, therefore I also have daily opportunities to become aware of them. Just the example I gave you. In one form or another, many of my character defects appear daily. Self-condemnation, anger, running away, being prideful, wanting to get even, or acting out of grandiosity, right? Daily. Our turning points, right? Give us awareness. Our character defects appear daily. God, even those who think they're all that, the chips and the dips, right? They are tempted daily. And so we have to be so mindful and so conscious and so aware that we have to be at turning points all day long. Right? That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. I tell people, and this is who I am, when I'm going through the day, right? So I've learned that every situation, every encounter, every circumstance, right? Every circumstance that is presented to me are opportunities. Yes. There's a lesson in each and every one of those situations. What am I supposed to learn from that? That's a turning point in my life. I stop complaining, but I start asking, what am I to learn from this situation? What is my God trying to reveal to me? You don't know and cannot measure your spirituality unless you have been presented and are presented with some turning points. Yes. So that you can say right here, right now, I'm going this way, not that way. Okay? Time is running out, but guess what? Let me do one more thing. Here, okay? So it says here at the end, attempting half measures to eliminate these defects merely paralyzes my efforts to change. You hear that? Half measures to eliminate these defects. Like, in the 6th step, we say, it says here, entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. To remove all these defects of character. Right? Because if I don't, I will be tempted to take half measures. No, God, remove any and all things that stands in the way of being useful to you and useful to my mankind. Okay? Just give me 30 more seconds, right? And it says here at the end, it is only when I ask God for help with complete abandon, that I become willing and able to change. Are you at a turning point in your life? Do you want to half step it or do you want to go all the way? The God of our understanding, the Creator, has that power, to change you. All we have to do is be willing to change. He does the changing. We just have to be willing to do it. But we can't go halfway. We need to go all the way, because you never know what God wants to prepare you for. And that's what I believe, and that's what I will close with. Recovery is about being prepared for things yet to come. Turning points. Are you at your turning point? Or are you wearing a mask? Are you social distancing? Are you getting vaccinated? Have you been vaccinated? Are you getting your booster? Let's start with that. Let's start with what we are all afflicted with today. What turning points are you with saving your life and the lives of others? Until next time, be safe, and be safe. Watch the turns, but make the right decision. Thank you.